relieve some of that pressure. But most guys, especially on the pick and roll, avoid putting the ball and going towards somebody.
Second foul on Cashmere Wright. The bounce. Chapman lost it on the way up, but he is going to the free throw line. Gates, the big fella, going to the rim.
And the beauty of having 4 guards on the floor that can handle and push, as soon as you go past that first wave, you're going to have numbers and just fill the lanes.
Brown for Chapman. The spin.
That's going away.
And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Texas. To go. Track down there by Sanders. The lefty will pull up. Can't hit the 3. Rebounded by Chapman for Texas.
Holmes didn't keep him off the offensive glass, but good recovery there by Holmes to find him with that shot.
Bump. Brown. Bounce. Baseline. Chapman throws it down.
That's one of the things Rick Barnes
able to tip the ball to himself.
You're absolutely right. Terrific move there by Chapman. I can't get it. Tip it away from the defender and go get it yourself. Doesn't a guy like Charles Barkley used to do that pretty well, huh?
Absolutely. Chapman! The two-handed flush! And 10 to shoot. Brown, high screen Chapman. Kabongo, open look at a 3. Off the mark. Chapman offensive rebound, and he draws the foul.
Chapman a good free throw shooter, too, at 79.
11 points for Yancey Gates.
Little switch up here in the backcourt by Cincinnati.
Nice look at Chapman. The follow goes. It's Jonathan Holmes trailing on the play. Yancey Gates. 15 points, 9 rebounds. 6-point lead for Cincinnati. Chapman turns, and he finishes around the rim.
Timeout, Texas.
Texas was very good during that run, 73 and 27. So here they are squaring off. The Longhorns control the tap, and the young team comes down shorthanded. Lexi Wamini, of course, out with that dislocated left wrist in civilian clothes, and so Chapman has to stay on the floor down low. Squeezes the trigger, misses, but underneath is Holmes, and a good putback by the freshman coach.
Into the lane, then Missouri wanted to have it, and that resulted in a turnover. Good defensive play by Chapman inside.
Now it looks like Mizzou's going to go to a little man-on-man here. Chapman on the outside. Misses. Battle for the rebound. Controlled by Mizzou. Upset of the 3 seed, Iowa State, in the quarterfinals, assures the Texas Longhorns again reaching the NCAA tournament, as they have every year of Rick Barnes' tenure as head coach. Upset of the 3 seed, Iowa State, in the quarterfinals, assures the Texas Longhorns again reaching the NCAA tournament, as they have every year of Rick Barnes' tenure as head coach.
Low feed by Holmes.
Dixon off the iron. Kabongo to save it. And Kabongo will bring it down now after McClellan, who actually went out of bounds to save it that time, and gave it to Kabongo. Here's McClellan again. Now Chapman steps out. On the deck, on the drive, off the glass, tap by Holmes, no, and here comes flip pressing.
Used that big wide body and got his shot off.
Tim English, of course, going to wind up on the All Big 12 tournament team. He went for 27 last night, 11 of 13. Chapman comes back, couldn't get the bounce, and Denman comes away.
Golden opportunities here.
And Jacoby doesn't make him pay, but Lewis feeds Chapman, and he scores. So Texas will not.
Shoulder and allows a driving lane to the basket. Rick Barnes will not be happy with that.
And last foul called on McGee. He has 2 already. Chapman. That was a nice look. Clint. Chapman left open.
Clint Chapman knocking down.
They look a little tired right now.
Well, you got 3 guys just standing.
Kabongo just floats one in there, and a nice offensive rebound by Bond. Goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Brown. Oh, tipped home.
Clint Chapman is all over the impede somebody's freedom of movement. They've emphasized it at the beginning of the year, during the year, and in the postseason, and I think that's good officiating and consistent officiating.
Chapman spin move. Boy, that was a good look, and they really took.
Impede somebody's freedom of movement. They've emphasized it at the beginning of the year, during the year, and in the postseason, and I think that's good officiating and consistent officiating.
Chapman spin move. Boy, that was a good look, and they really took. As his son has just tied this game at 59. See the run by the Cyclones. Chapman. No shot, no shot. Foul came first, and that could.
Against the Oklahoma Sooners. And aren't the Sooners improving every week? There's McClellan on the drive. Tap back by Chapman. And the Horns strike first.
Not have a better officiating crew than you've got here tonight. Whiffy stayed with the ball a little bit too long when he had it that time. His footwork was such that he was going to have to walk with the ball the way he faked and then tried to turn to the bucket.
Jacoby back inside. Chapman flushes it. Tried to swing it in. Two players slipped coming down the floor that time. Now Kabongo set up outside. They've had a difficult time getting movement with their big guys down low. Kabongo wants Wanman to screen down low. He's holding the ball out on top. Chapman steps out, puts it on the floor on Relaford, and pulls the trigger.
What a 15 games and made big contributions. It's been a real improving team all along the season.
So for more information, and Chapman flushes it.
Have John without Sam Grooms and Romero Osby with 2 fouls. They stay in that 3-2 zone. Let's see if they make any adjustments at halftime, because that ball screen out top was very effective.
Well, the one thing Texas did not do well was shoot out of that zone. 2 for 11 from 3.
But you know what? They got the ball in deep because of that dribble penetration.
Chapman gets it to roll home.
Go right back up. And that's a mentality. Very good for a freshman.
Chapman's got it, and that rattles home to tie the game.
And against this box and one is Texas hasn't looked to throw the ball inside. And that's the weakness of this zone, because you can throw it inside.
Well, they do. They get it inside, and the foul here. Kabongo. And Chapman was there on the weak side. Well, Texas with the ball, 7 on the shot clock. Chapman's got it. What an inbounds play.
And AC with 11 points, 8 rebounds. Baylor back within 5.
It's those points, Dave, that shouldn't have happened that kill you in basketball. You know, a bad foul, a bad look, a bad shot. Great pass right there.
And Chapman with a stop. Clint last couple of games started the second half and gets his first bucket of the game. 5-point deficit now for Baylor.
That dunk shot that Chapman missed, they missed a great opportunity, and then that next possession they gave up.
He didn't miss there.
He got it back.
Trying to tempo the game a little bit. They certainly want to keep this Texas team in front of them, because when they can separate and get outnumbered, they are special to watch.
Bond, his dish to Chapman. Tough fadeaway jumper for him. Look at that rebound by Brown. Comes in to get a backdoor play. Nice pass again from Guerrero.
When that dribble got the attention of the defender, and then Page just read it beautifully.
And Chapman gets it to go from the elbow. Brown against that zone, got into the paint, and Chapman with a nice foul.
And that's when
Terry worked last night's Kansas State game in Manhattan. And here come the Longhorns. Kabongo, the freshman from Canada, getting better in that role. And Chapman right out of the gates. Good find a rhythm at this juncture of the first half.
Yeah, both teams offensively. You remember at the first media timeout, Doug, it was 10-7 with about 15 minutes left in this first half, and both teams have slowed down offensively.
Chapman with a big windup on that jumper, and if
again, nice catch and shoot, little face up from Romero Osby. But Oklahoma has to be careful, Doug, of just continuing to settle for jumpers. They've got to find a way, like Texas has, of getting to the heart of the defense.
Shot clock now down to 5. Chapman and one minute comes up with the rebound.
Here's Jacobin Brown on the baseline. Wide open on the baseline. Jumper off by Lewis. A whistle and a foul underneath. Man, this is
baseline drive, and they drew the foul on it. Really good move.
Catch and shoot by Hibbert into Kabongo's hands. He's got Chapman running the floor with him. Slams it. Chapman with a great finish for a big man.
10-point lead, and A&M has always come back to what they are now, like a 3-point deficit.
Wrap it into Chapman in that low block. Turn around. Yes, nice move by Chapman.
They made that move.
Blank miss. Here's Kabongo. He and Julian Lewis, the two freshmen on the floor. Jacobin Brown has been in a severe shooting slump recently.
Yeah, he sure has been. 8 here, and a nice find by Thomas Robinson.
Relaford, strong block. Chapman got it. Here comes Texas 3-on-2. Nice speed. Chapman wasn't ready for it, but he recovers in their loss at Missouri that he worked him really, really hard in the subsequent practice sessions, up to and including the visit to K-State, and he was not terribly unhappy with the effort at K-State. He's got to be disappointed this afternoon. Taylor, relative no. Jacobin Brown's got it.
Oh, yes, and a foul.
That is, and if not for woeful shooting, the Longhorns might be on top here.
Yes.
So Kansas has to tighten it up and try to push this lead back out to double digits, because I think the longer Texas hangs around, this kid here, number 14, Jacobin Brown, can make enough shots to win a game for you if it's close.
Clock shows 8:10 remaining. Chapman, turnaround jumper.
And he's having
the Bongo kick out. Brown gets a good look.
What a great challenge.
Good work on the offensive boards by Kabongo.
Well, he did. I'll tell you, getting back to K-State, the most underrated thing in defense is challenging shots.
Chapman and one. Clint. The lone defeat coming on the road at Manhattan, Kansas, 75-59. Chapman in close with a little hook for two. Also streaming live on WatchESPN.com.
Dwayne Wade back. He's been suffering what he thinks is plantar fasciitis. Basically just like a pulled ligament under your foot. Only rest and relaxation ends up helping. You don't get that in a 6-game season.
Chapman a jumper. It's a no-brainer. Ray Turner's already fouled out. LeBeau and Keith Davis each with 3 for the Yankees. Chapman inside. Shot wouldn't go. Rebound Davis. LeBeau.
Rick Barnes, he's not going to throw the second game of the doubleheader. He's had rotator cuff surgery. It dates all the way back from his high school days.
Yeah, in the high school, the trainer back then told him he just had a separated shoulder, but all along he's had a hole in his shoulder that needed to get repaired.
And the game's first bat, McClellan.
Kabongo, you'll see one of the quickest guards in the country, very fast with the basketball, dynamic passer, as he's able here at Iowa State.
At 25 in an earlier game against Lehigh. Julian Lewis in now for Texas, the freshman out of Galveston. Chapman bumped, and he's going to get free throws. Sitting in the Big 12, but again, 2 teams combined 28-0. And they've got Royce White back on the floor for Iowa State with a 9-point lead and 6 minutes to go.
And if I'm Texas, I go right at him. I want to drive against him because he's going to give up or surrender a layup right now if you can attack him in the paint.
Well, he's on Holmes, another one of the freshmen, and Chapman with the jump hook, and 9 right. Passes out. Allen skips out of there in Texas. Back in a hurry, and a jam by Chapman.
Simple. You know what? That was the correct pass. Now, it looked fancy behind the back, but it was perfectly executed by Juan Fernandez. That was the correct pass.
7-point lead for the Temple Owls. Looking for their 4th consecutive win and looking to stop Texas' 6-game winning streak. Boy, it took an ugly bounce, but nothing ugly about it in the NBA these days.
And oftentimes, you put a good player who can beat his man one-on-one in a bad situation when your ball spins out. Because you can take the ball out of his hands.
A 10-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Chapman fires away. I don't have to ask you what you thought about that shot, and now